What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I will be showing you 8 simple knots that you can use for climbing and camping, okay? So these are going to be safety things to allow you to get out and enjoy the outdoors, but safely when you're tying knots. So the 8 knots that we're going to be doing today are a figure 8 knot, a double fisherman's, bowline, Alpine butterfly, Clove hitch, Tautline hitch, trucker's hitch, and also a Prusik knot. So what you will need is I have, it's a 6mm cord. It's about 2 meters length. You really don't need anything longer than that. Otherwise, you're going to be messing around and it's going to be wrapped around you and just everywhere. So 2 meters of that. And then because we're doing a Prusik knot, we will need another small length. So I'm just using some paracord, so 550 paracord tied with the double fisherman's, but you can use obviously the pre-made Prusik knots as well. All right, so our first knot that we're going to get into, super simple. It's a figure 8 knot. It's one of the most simple knots that you can do, and you can use it for like a stopper knot. It's also super easy to untie. So under load, it doesn't really tighten up, so it's always easy to untie. And then you can also use it to tie 2 ropes together, or to climb into a to tie into a climbing harness. So all you're going to do, take your end, wrap it around, so take it over once, around, and through the hole. And there you are. So there is your figure 8 knot. All right, the next knot that we are going to be doing is a double fisherman's. So that's what I'm using for my Prusik knot, but we'll get to that in a second. I will show you how to tie it on this. So what you use a double fisherman's for is you can link it to make a loop. You can use it to join 2 ropes together. So say these are 2 different ends, you can tie them together. And it is very secure anchor. So you can, when you're tying it around to each other, very secure, won't come out. And let me show you how it's done. So you're going to line your 2 cords up. Goes 1 wrap around, 1 wrap, and then you jam it through. Oh, make sure you have lots of slack. Just like that. Perfect. So when you're tying this one, see that? So I'll do that again. Come around, so you start them beside, over top, so you're crossing over it, going under again, and then when you come over, it goes through underneath both. So if you did it correctly, you should end up with a cross on the front and then 2 lines in the back. And because it's a double fisherman's, you do that on the other side as well. So when you pull that one through, perfect. You will notice on the front that should be facing you, you have the 2 X's side by side, and on the back, 4 parallel lines. So that is how you know you did the double fisherman's correctly. Our next knot that we will be tying is a bowline. So if you don't know this one already, it is super versatile knot. It's very strong, easy to use. And like I said, multi-purpose. You can use it in almost any situation. So you can use it as an anchor around tree for climbing. You will want to use backups because you want multi-knots for climbing. And it also makes a secure loop that doesn't jam under loads. So the way we make this knot, make a circle, make a loop in there. And then what you're going to do is go through the hole from the front, wrap around the rope, and then back through the same hole that you came out. And then when you pull that tight, you will have your bowline. All right, our next knot is the Alpine butterfly knot. So this knot is super easy to untie, and it's used to make a loop in the middle of a rope, so that say you wanted to link together, so you're all tied together if you're hiking somewhere. You know, some conditions where if someone falls, you want to be able to support them through lines and not just your arms and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and make this knot. So you're gonna make it so you have a one line across the palm of your hand. This one's gonna come up around, so see that? You have 2 lines. And then this one, instead of going around again, it comes back. So you're gonna have the X and the line. And then what you do is you're gonna take this loop up top, pull it out, and it's gonna go underneath that X. I know that's hard to see, but it's gonna come underneath there, and you're gonna go under and through. So pull it through where this line was, and the 2 X's, it's gonna go under and come through. So then, when you pull it tight and together, this is what it looked like from the front and from the back. All right, so our next knot is called a clove hitch. So this knot is used for kind of an anchor point. So it's wrapping around something and using tension to hold on. So it's used in climbing and also rescue situations. It's also super strong, easy to adjust and untie. So it's not a hassle to get undone. So this will be our branch if we're tying onto a branch or a tree. So you can tie it this way or this way, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do it this way just for ease. So you're gonna put your line over top. Then you're going to cross. So you come under to the right, go over to the left-hand side. And then when you come back under, keep on that left-hand side and just go straight up underneath. So then when you pull it tight, it's gonna look like this. So see, it goes up, over, comes out on the bottom here, crosses, and then comes straight underneath. And then when you pull, it uses tension. See, that's not going anywhere. So that is how you do a clove hitch. All right, our next hitch is called the Tautline hitch. And this knot is used for a lot of like guidelines for tents and tarps. So it's a knot that is good for tensioning and it's easy to adjust. But it's only for light loads. So anything super heavy, it's not gonna be a great knot for. So what you'll need is obviously an object to tie it around because that's what you're gonna be doing. So make your loop around. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna wrap around in a downward fashion and make sure that you do it tightly, especially with bigger, like thicker ropes. Even this 6mm rope, it's fairly thick. So you can do about 3 wraps. And then on that last one, pop it up over top of the line coming in. So this one that you use to tie in, put it over top, wrap another around and come through. So, and then you're gonna have to pull that really tight. So really take out all the loose, all the slack in the line. Here it goes. So the tighter you make it, the better it's gonna hold. And then when you apply tension here, you can see it's holding, but all it takes is moving it up or down, pulling out this tension here, and there you go. So I will show you what this knot looks like now. So you can see, so when I was tying it, you go up, and this is that line. So this is the one going around. So 1, 2, 3, and on the third, pops out. See, it goes over top of this one, and then around and through. So it's very easy to untie as well, because all you have to do is pull out that main piece, and then the wraps just fall right off. And that is a Tautline hitch. Our third and final hitch is the trucker hitch. So this is a combination of a couple knots, but it's used to secure loads. So like canoes, kayaks, anything over your roof. It's a great tension knot, or tensioning knot. So as you tie it, you pull out the slack, so it'll secure the load, and then you tie it up and it maintains that. So it's good for strapping things down. And yeah, so this one's gonna be a little bit harder to show you from this camera. I'll have an overhead view so you will be able to see it. But what you're gonna do, I like to lie it down, make a little loop, so like that, just side by side, bring it up, like so, bring this one down, comes over, around, and through. And then, once you have this one, there we go. So that's what it's gonna look like. And you tie it around here. So that'll be our, say our rail or part of our trailer. Feed it through the knot, pull it, and then you're just gonna do a couple overhand knots. So that's down, round, through. And I didn't leave myself enough slack to do 2, but that is what it's gonna look like there. So just an overhand knot, and that is at our tensioned end. So you could keep pulling, and if I undo this, you'll see that pulls out the slack. So that's what gets you the tension on your knot. All right, and this brings us to our last knot. So for our last knot, it is going to be a Prusik knot. So what you'll need is your tie-in piece. So what I did for this is just a piece of paracord, and then with the double fisherman's to make it a loop. The reason why I'm using this is just because I have a 6mm rope here. Normally you'd use this in climbing, so your climbing rope would be like a 9-10 millimeter diameter rope, and you'd actually use a 6mm rope as your Prusik knot. I'm just using this because it is a smaller diameter, and your Prusik, as you tie in, it has to be a smaller diameter, otherwise it won't work. So this is our climbing line, and the Prusik knot is primarily used in climbing or rescue situations, and it's an ascending and descending knot. So what that means is you can go up and down with the knot, and it'll hold tension until you don't want it to, and you can release it, and I'll show you that in a second. So what you're gonna do is, if it's not a already loop, if it's a loop like I've made with a double fisherman's, you don't want to have it at the bottom like this, because when you put in your carabiner, it's going to be on that knot. Tilt it a little bit to the side, so there we go, it's like that. So when you tie in, you're going to take this end, put it around, so have that, and then you're going to take this end, put it through once, pull out the tension a little bit, or sorry, pull out the slack. So you'll have it like this, go one more in the middle, and so 2 wraps like that, two times around, that'll give you the minimum, but you can always do more. I will typically do 3 times, just to give me that little bit of extra tension where it's, or friction on the knot, but not much more because that'd be overboard. So see, now you can see it's tied. We got our 4 wraps round, and make sure you pull out any crossover. So you want them to all be parallel, as you can see there. See, there's nothing crossing. They're all beside each other. And see, as soon as I pull on this, that tension's up on the rope. It's not going anywhere. But second I push down a little bit on here, it'll go down. So see, it pulls down, but also pulling up. See, and then I push on the bottom loop here, and that'll go up. So see, that's an ascending and descending because it's multi-directional there. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that these knots really helped you and that you learned something today. Other than that, have a great day. Drop a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Going out my mind.